Hey everyone, it's Clint Tucker, guitar trainer and coach. It is Fretwork Friday, volume 28, and we're going to be talking about a pentatonic workout that's going to be mental. This is going to be skills that you need to know. Go ahead and like and subscribe and click that notification bell. That way every time I upload, you can get to see it. And let's go ahead and get started. We are not going to be using a guitar today per se. We're going to be doing some mental work and we're going to write some things down. So we're going to look at a way to practice writing down scales so you can get a little bit more comfortable with the mental aspect of putting these things in your mind's eye before you even grab your guitar. So we're working on the C major pentatonic scale today. And what notes we need to know about that is that they're made up of the note C. So we're going to make like a little title to our page. C, D, E, then G, then A. Pentatonic means 5, so we're using 5 different notes. And this is the Japanese major scale, by the way. So this is what your thing should look like so far. That's going to be your title. Okay, now later on, you are going to go ahead and you're going to write down the names of your strings like in a row, basically 6 rows like you would on tablature. So we're going to go E, A, D, G, B, E. So now that should look like that. So far so good. On the E strings, we're going to look at the alphabet of C pentatonic, C major pentatonic, and we're going to find the E note. What comes next is the G. So we're going to go ahead and write down the alphabet verbatim after the E note. So that's going to be a G, so you're going to write down G. Then the next note's A, and then it starts back over at C. And you're going to write down C, then you're going to write down E, then you're going to write down D, and then you're going to write down E. And you're going to do this twice because the 6th string is an E note and the 1st string is an E note. So now that should look like that. Hopefully y'all can see this okay. I'm going to move my light a little bit. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. So the A string, we're going to find the A in there, our little title alphabet, A. So the next note's C. And you can always look at any of your strings you've already written down as a way to figure out what the next note is. So the next note's D, the next note's E, the next note's G, and the next note is A. All right, so let's go to the D. D is going to come after C, so E's next, then G, then A, then C, then D. Then after that, we've got the G string. It's going to be A, it's going to be C, it's going to be D, E, and G. Now, on to the 2nd string, the B string. This is the one that's kind of tricky. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at your alphabet and you realize there is no B. So your first note is actually going to be a fretted note. It's not going to be an open string. And that's going to be the C note. Then you just do your alphabet. C, D, E, G, A. So after that, you should have this. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to make sure that we understand that every scale is going to look like 2 notes being circled. So the first ones will be E, G, A, C, D, E, so it should look kind of like that. Now when you're doing this, before you've even done this step, There's a very critical step you need to do. You need to have access to a printer if you can, or you need to write this small enough to where you can write it 5 times. That way you can take care of all 5 of these forms that you're going to do. So now that you've done that right there, you're going to make sure that you label what fret they're on. So E is open, G is 3. A is open, C is 3. D is open, E is 2. G is open, A is 2. C is on the 1st fret, and D is on the 3rd fret. E is open, and G is on the 3rd fret. So then it would look like that. You have done your very first one. Now you can grab your guitar and test your hypothesis. So, open, then 3rd fret, that's E and G, then A, then C, then D, then E, G, then A, C, then D, then E, then G. So if I play maybe just 2 or 3 of these, I can kind of hear that scale. Now if I take that and put 12 on all of those, then I have 12, 15, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 13, 15, 12. Now it sounds even more like C major. Each time, go back and play that C chord to make sure that you would hear how that works. And now you have a better understanding of how this the scale is fingered and how it came to be on the fretboard. You do that 4 more times and you have a much better idea of how that C major scale pentatonically works. You almost can hear that C major more and more. And every time, I have a chord that can go with it. So try to do this. Your step 1, go ahead, write down the scale alphabet as a title on your page. Step 2, make 6 rows that are the strings of your guitar. Step 3, horizontally write out each alphabet on each string. Step 4, make 5 copies if it's a pentatonic scale, 7 copies if it is a major scale or a minor scale. And then step 5, go ahead and actually circle 2 of each one if you're doing pentatonic. And then if you want to do more than that for major and minor, you can. But pentatonic, this works really well because you only have to circle 2 notes. From there, you actually do that for each one of those copies that you've made for the next round of notes. So if you started the first copy from E, the second copy is going to start from G. The third copy is going to start from A. That way they're not jumbled up all in the same spot, and you can see them stacked upon each other, how they actually work separately and they progress. And step 6 would be to actually play the actual fret numbers that you've written down. Do that part of step 5. And then practice this. This is a great mental way to practice your scales and get to know them. Because if you can see it in your mind's eye before you play it, you actually have a better chance of playing a correct repetition. And correct repetitions hold more weight in the brain than, sloppy, right? You would do much better off to do 10 correct repetitions than 100 sloppy ones. Because the brain's going to remember what you do the most of. So if you do it 5 times in a row right, even if it takes you 2 minutes to do it, the brain's going to remember that compared to if you just try to do 50 really quick rounds and they're all sloppy. Now it's going to remember that. And so the next time that you play it, more than likely, it will be sloppy. If you understand where to go, you're already giving yourself mental repetitions. So let's try this out this week. This is my challenge for you, to figure out the rest of them. And if you would, post when you've done it and maybe send me a link to the picture. And who knows, you might get something free. All right, everyone, I want y'all to have a great week. Be safe. And we'll see you next week, Lord willing. Have a good one. Bye.